marketing power, which I hadn't heard of until we had an employee start, maybe I don't know, a year ago. But there's a resource called Udemy, which I'd never heard of. I hadn't heard of that. It's apparently okay, a couple of you. This is how I understand it. It's like a marketplace for courses that are video based. So if you know something, like we know about link building, you can make a Udemy course, upload it to Udemy, and people will watch it. You can charge for it. Is that right? Is that accurate, Nathan?
Yes, you have to build a curriculum and then a video series that supports that curriculum. They need to be offered free of charge for paid involvement.
Now, Nathan, we put this course, link building course, on Udemy. How many people have taken the course or are taking it?
Enrolled right now, as of just moments ago, 5,700 people.
I've never heard of Udemy. We have 5,700 people that are using the curriculum. It's phenomenal. So if you know something that someone else doesn't know, you have an opportunity in Udemy. And that's just one example of offsite content marketing. This is a very vibrant, large, I don't know what the right adjective is, it's just a big thing to do. It's very important. And as Zach indicated, if the foundational elements of your website are organized, which they should be before you do any of this stuff, this is the first place you should go to get traffic. Start to make an awesome website. Make a great amusement park. No one goes to Disneyland to walk down Main Street, but they have to walk down Main Street
and they smile while they're doing it.
And to get to the castle, right? That's right. And to get to, but you don't have to walk down Main Street to go to you got the idea.
Well, content marketing. Jon always says the highest quality content wins. So when you're creating content, whether that's the informational pages of your website or that's a blog post to be put on other websites, of course, always make it the best that you can, and the best will rise to the top.
Okay, let's talk about blogging. Don't go to sleep. Many people hear about blogging and they say, I've done that, it was awful. Or I don't want to ever do it because I heard it was awful. Or I don't ever want to do it because I don't ever want to do it. But by the end of this section, I guarantee you will be at least thinking about maybe doing it. Here we go. Blogging. Blogging is obviously creating a hub of editorial content, announcements, news for your website. I will argue that every site should have a blog because it's the river of life that flows through your site. No matter what you do, even if you're a DUI lawyer in New Jersey, you should be doing this. I'll explain why in a second. This is a studio a photography studio here in Boise, Ampersand, and they do a really simple thing with their blog. They take pictures at an event or a wedding, or in this case, family pictures, and they post the best ones in the blog. It just continually rolls. Well, when Jen and Carlos see that this person posted their pictures, do you suppose they're going to share that on Facebook with other people and get traffic?
Yes.
You would be right. Thank you. Thank you. For those that are running self-storage websites, I know there's several of you out there, you think, why in the world would I ever do a blog? That is the most preposterous concept. Well, these individuals wrote this blog post, how to organize your storage unit. And it ranks number 4 in Google for how to organize your storage unit. Google loves content like this. They love good information, and they will rank it. And we'll talk about SEO and how this all relates, but this is one example. But here we get to the meat of the matter. If you want to be successful at your blog, first thing you do is you forget about everything you've already done on the blog, unless you've been wildly successful. But if you haven't been, forget about everything you've done. And then you start looking at this list. This list is in your book, and there's lots of excellent descriptions behind each of these. But let me give you an example. I've got a friend in California. She sells clothing that she invents and has created in Los Angeles. And she does okay at it. She also runs a blog which is moderately popular. But most of her blog posts, if I were to put them in a category, are this category right here. Rant or rave. She talks about what I did today, how I love this new thing, what cool thing I'm doing now. That's kind of everything she writes about is that. If you are locked into a category like that, sometimes it's hard to get out of that, but if you don't get out of it, you'll never gain traffic with your blog and you'll give up. So she talked to me on the phone. This was like last week, actually. And I said, okay, so you're trying to sell clothing. So how would a blog be useful to you? Well, A, she has good clothing. She has a great website. Well, why don't you interview designers that you know that are influential? What about retailers who do a good job at presenting clothing? Why don't you interview other people in the industry you're in, or other designers like you, and put those interviews on your blog? Because you put that interview on your blog, they're going to tweet it, or they're going to Facebook that, and you're going to get traffic. It changed everything about what she was thinking. I said, why don't you do top 10 ways to do this or that? Why don't you write a negative blog post? I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but what's more interesting? So our children's bookstore website, he had a blog post in 2013 called The Best Children's Books in 2012. That sounds okay, right? And then we're like, why don't you write the worst books of 2012? See if people are interested in that. How-tos are always popular. How to do your, organize your storage unit. I'm just kind of touching on what's happening here. There are tons of different ideas that you can use on your blog than just what you're doing all the time. And if you sit down to your blog and you open it and you don't know what to write, you don't have categories. You don't have an idea of what else you can do. So we do the Backlink Show, which is a podcast. There's a site called Schools, it's like schoolsedu. What is it?
I think it's just schools.com.
Right, schools.com. They do the best job at infographics I've ever seen any company do. You've probably never heard of them. But every month they produce an infographic, and the infographic is about how to get a job in an industry. So they have these very lovely graphics about how to get a job in the nursing industry. And when they release that, it goes everywhere. It's an awesome blog category for them. Hot tips, success stories. We had an orthodontist here last night, and the idea we gave him was, well, every month just come up with a success story of one of your patients and write a little blog post about it. People love to hear that kind of stuff. So once you start to grasp the vision of what you can do with your blog, it can be a red carpet of traffic for you. But you have to kind of break out of the shell which you're already living in. And you don't have to do, blog posts every day. You could do one a month or one every 2 weeks. Someone asked us last night, how often should we blog? I mean, as much as you can. But that's what you can do with blogging. After you've selected your categories, develop yourself an editorial calendar. This will save you a lot of heartache, unless you like heartache. This is an editorial calendar. So here's the date, here's the author, here's the topic, here's the category. So you put the category in there, and it can be on a piece of paper or on the back of your, I don't care where you write it, but spend 30 minutes to an hour with someone you trust and like and brainstorm titles for yourself for 3 months, and you don't have to do the labor of sitting down and trying to figure out what you're going to talk about today. This is how a pro blogs. This is how they get it done. They actually have interesting content because there's more than just me talking about something which I'm interested in. And of course, stick with it. That's probably the real secret. Another secret with blogging is nothing will happen for 6 months. So just forget about expectations for 6 months. Because no one cares. You'll be shouting on a pillow at night, all you want, for 6 months, and then someone might hear you. And then 6 months later, you might get some action. Now, one little story. When Zach and I worked in an office that was about as big as between he and I, we interviewed the founder of Bleco. Now, you've never heard of Bleco. Well, some of you have. Bleco is an alt search engine. It's a different way to search the web. And back in those days, it was really popular among the SEO community. And it was just Zach and I, and actually it was Keisha who did that. And we emailed and said, hey, can we interview you? He was like, yeah, let's I'd love to. We interviewed, he tweeted it, we got like 3,000 hits in 2 days. It was amazing. It was like a real watershed moment for us, with us gaining traffic. So,
with the Page One Power blog.
Right, with the Page One Power blog. So does this help you a little bit with blogging?